unlock persistent rebels.
This just in from a rejected source. In fact, this is a proposal that I have seen in many countries. I have yet to see it implemented. Question: what do you see as possible political and economic scenarios for South Sudan, and what role could NGOs and local organizations play, given the reported general patterns of conflict and cooperation, humanitarian assistance, population movement, resource extraction, and existing ideologies? I would not expect the complicated dynamics in South Sudan to change significantly. Although there are numerous flashpoints in the two countries, it is the pending referendum in oil-rich Abyei that will present the greatest immediate challenge. Without a diminishing influence in all key variables provoking or legitimizing conflict stressors, it seems that the pace toward peace and development would be slow as the people themselves reorganize their socioeconomic infrastructure, including indigenous forms of justice and distribution. From an external to internal flow perspective, international community inputs to South Sudan could greatly improve or at least contribute to the amelioration of living standards for the people. Though the conflicting ideologies and methodologies of donating and implementing agencies, as evidenced in meetings, the media, administrative processes, operational techniques, and programming strategy, can prohibit efficient redistribution of aid money throughout the country, this problematic component of the development process need not remain a major impediment to the nascent state's prosperity. Since this obstacle to a unified humanitarian mission requires a lot of time and sensitive dialogue to eliminate, I propose the following workaround. The more financially independent I.N.G.Os could demonstrate their superior understanding of localized mechanisms by redesigning their development model to integrate two important postulates. First, collaborating with the UN and similar international organizations on complex humanitarian issues can introduce an immediate state of diminishing returns given the large scope of such organizations' roles in contexts like the Sudan. While it is essential that South Sudan participate in the international community's project of reform, such participation need not be the sole method of interface, which leads us to the second postulate. I.N.G.Os with access to significant levels of private funding have the opportunity to design comprehensive programs, the success of which can be a reference point. NGOs should continue to coordinate with I.N.G.O, advocate for an improved or alternative MDTF, but should not allow themselves to be incapacitated or instrumentalized by bureaucratic institutions. I.N.G.Os and the indispensable local CBOs could develop an independent strategic plan to achieve economies of scale by purposefully calculating aid delivery using a triage approach to urban planning. The goal would be to create a parallel, integrated development model whose successful benchmarks and indicators would provide tangible proof that an alternative model functions better than the current international effort and may convince others, namely those sustaining the UN-led status quo, to adopt a new strategic plan. Alternative operations and programming would thus serve the dual purpose of aid reform and an improved standard of living in South Sudan.